Here we go again, guys. Welcome to another episode of Stock Market Review with Low Trading. Welcome to the channel. My name is Coach Lud, and I'm here to give you guys exactly what the market is telling me on the charts. Before we start going, I want to once again acknowledge those of you guys who are here on the live on a beautiful Thursday evening. Once again, welcome and thank you for being here. And if you are here, please remember, as usual, make sure to smash the like button for me. I would appreciate that. And any comments that you guys can drop, a thumbs up or anything, because those engagements really help the channel. For those of you guys who have keep doing this, I really appreciate it. And trust me, you guys may not see it, but on the back end for myself, I can see how the algorithm is pushing out those videos. So I really appreciate that. So we are here today once again, just like yesterday. I told you guys yesterday. I was very upfront. Told you guys we had an 85% chance of having a down day today. For the most part, the entire day we were down. We were very, very deep in the red. Actually, we did pull back, but it was not unexpected. Right, it was not unexpected given we were close to resistance levels, and on top of that, the VIX was super elevated and was letting us know we might do something like that. So what happened again today? Once again, the VIX was also elevated today above the 10% mark, meaning over the next two trading sessions, we have an 85% probability of a green day on the other side, right? So that's the signal that the VIX is pretty much giving, and this is based on historical behavior. It's suggesting an 85% probability within the green day next two sessions. We're going to break down exactly what that means. Let me just, in case you new here and you've missed all the explanation I have given you guys. Those of you guys who are here, Jeff and Papa, thank you. What's up? Um, let me just clarify something for you guys real quick. The VIX itself does not exactly gives you the probability, but what the VIX does, it measures implied volatility from the S&P options. That the probability from that interpreting using historical data and what they are calculating based on that move that may happen. So it's math being done behind the scene. You don't have to learn the math. There's a way to calculate it for yourself, but you don't have to do all that. What you need to know is once we above 85 10% in the VIX, that automatically suggests a possible 85% of a reversal, whichever way that the market went over the next two trading sessions. So this is what we are pretty much dealing with right now. Now, I hope you guys had a good time trading today. I gave you guys the levels, and it was interesting how the market played out perfectly, almost too perfect in a way, with those levels. So when I'm giving you guys those levels, when I'm doing those lives, if you want to mark those levels on your chart. Again, this is just for educational purposes. I'm not saying just bat those levels, but you can mark them on your chart so you can have to follow along if you while you're learning a few things. Uh, Before we get into the charts, we're gonna get right into it. I must let you guys know once again. Coach Lud here. I am not your financial advisor. Nothing I say here is any suggestions for you to buy, hold, or sell anything. What I'm merely doing, everything I'm doing is for educational purposes, and what I'm doing is translating what the stock market is telling me from the charts, right? Because candlestick is the language of the stock market, and I'm letting you know how I am executing in the market. All right, but I'm not, if you guys want to trade, make sure you do your own due diligence or contact a financial advisor to help you out if you don't know what you are doing, because trading carries a lot of risk, including loss of capital. Okay, now that we got this out of the way, now it's time to get into it. Once again, some of you guys that's in the chat, I know you guys call me the prophet, given the predictions I've been giving on what things might do, and things like that. We're gonna get right into it today. Once again, I was proven right. Um, there we go. Yeah, I see you, James. I see you. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate the engagement every single time. What we are looking at again is the SPX. Let me go. Let's start on the daily. Let's start on the daily on the SPX. You guys can see exactly what's happening. This is what keeps saving us every single time. We just coming in this zone. This is structural zone. If we lose this, If we lose this, I believe we might be in trouble if we lose this. As all of this is happening, you guys going to see that. So right now, you can see that's the problem I keep telling you guys, right? Whenever we have a down day, we can see the volume spiking a little bit, right? Looking at the MACD, the MACD is not very does not really give me much hope, but this is still holding, right? This is still holding. It is possible tomorrow, before I go deeper into the chart to see what's going on, right? It is highly possible that we may be, as far as part of the a green day over the next two sessions, it is possible that we break down and then the following sessions we actually pull back up and make some sort of retest on that level for a continued move down. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how the whole thing going to play out. That's a possibility for tomorrow. Just keep in mind, because as you guys can see, right, even on the daily, if we're looking at the daily, I have that's one of my 4-hour trend line. That's the 4-hour trend line. You can see once again, we did not go above this. Early in the morning, we tried to go above the trend line. We got smacked right back down. We've not been able to cross that trend line so far. That has been a really, really tough task trying to go above that trend line. Now, let's try to dig in just a little bit more. Now, looking at that, not exactly sure what we see here. This is the gaps make this looks very very bad. All I know is I'm looking at this. All I'm seeing is a bullish Arami at support level. So it is possible we might squeeze up a little bit. So this is what I'm taking a look at right now. That's the best I can do. But then again, reminder, we have a trend line right there. That's resistance, and we have support right there. So we are squeezing. Price is still calling. We haven't actually picked a direction yet. Going down in the 2 hours, looking at the 2 hours, um, I don't know how comfortable I am with that in the 2 hours because there's a couple of things that may be happening here. The clearest one I can possibly see, but since this is not completely high, it's not a perfect one. I would say it seems like we are getting a bit of a head and shoulder pattern as well, right? So that's also a part of that. So we have conflicting directions in different timelines, and I don't like to go overnight with trades when I see things like that. Now, the 30 minutes. The 30 minutes is telling us two different things. So this trend line has been a hard trend line in the 30 minutes. We've not been able to take out, right? We've not been able to take it out. We've tried a couple of times, and you can see we lose momentum here and we push down. Now, these are all the bearish pattern I'm talking about, right? You can see that looks a little bit more, so you can see it. All right. Now, where's the hope for those of you guys that are bulls that want to see the market rally because you long the market? What you need to pay attention to is you have a bullish divergence being done in the MACD, so that's a higher high coursing, and we can see volume is popping in, pushing that up. Although we're getting close, that's the caveat. Every time I'm gonna say it, we are getting very close to that downward trend line. And also, what do we have here? We have a higher low. So we have a higher low. That is very very good news for those bulls. So maybe we might be able to squeeze. So here's what we're going to do. If you're in front of your computer, let me fix that real quick. If you're in front of your computer, I need you to draw this line and understand anywhere if we go either above or below this line on either one, we're going to make a move. Again, I'm not telling you guys to buy, but these are the kind of things that I will be watching for. All right. I already know for me, I am not shorting tomorrow, right? At this level because I know that strong structural support and a trend line, and I'm not going to go into more until I see we can break this level for me to even try to scalp and buy to go on the upside. All right. So that's what we're dealing with. This is the SPX. The SPY will give us a better showing because it has after hours. So there's not going to be as many gaps. So we will be able to see exactly what we are looking at in a way, right? So this is let's start with the daily. Let's start with the daily. Once again, the daily just ended in a doji pretty much. See, this is what I'm telling you guys. When you look at the SPX, right? When you look at the SPX, you can see there's a bit of a difference. Look at that. This is the SPY. In the SPY, this is a clear doji that we have here. Long bottom intel doji, pretty much. Look at the SPX. The body is a lot bigger. The body is a lot bigger. Um, Again, the SPY is what most of you guys trade. So I want you to keep paying attention to both because sometimes you might be able to see a pattern in one but not the other. So you can play them against each other just to see exactly how things are going. I like using the SPX for my analysis, specifically if I want to buy long dated, like 2 3 months out calls in the SPY. So I would use the SPX just so I can find better levels and better entry and see a clean chart. But anyway, so going inside of that, what did we see once again? So we broke down. As of right now, this is what we can say. We have closed below this level right there. We pulled up and we right again we close under the trend line, right? We are still under the trend line. That's the upward trend line. We still cannot capture it. All this is pointing to possible downside, but then again we still have that structural support zone that's still keeping us holding us over. This is the only hope we have right now. Let me just open that, just push that down just a little more, and look how perfect that is. This time we try to come down. We came exactly to that to this line, the bottom of that zone. Once again, we came right to the bottom of the zone. Once again, in this candle, and you can see it right here. Once again, we come to the bottom. So this is a very strong zone, and if we lose that, I think was the next line may be here, but that's going to be a very short. That's going to be not as strong probably. Actually, we do have some stuff here. Let me just put that right. I have to close that a bit more. There you go. We should have some stuff right here. So it's all those we don't want to lose because once we lose these levels, now you're talking about potentially going way down to those levels. The MACD, even in the daily, the MACD is still pointing straight down. And to me, it's an absolute miracle we are not dropping down. The bulls are doing everything they can. And if we're being honest, um, the administration is doing everything they can. They will just make up stories. They know the stories they just made up is not, they know it's not true. They know it's made up, but they know how to play the game because when they do that, the algorithms see the headlines and they wash in and buy. And then we tell traders follow and buy. So that way the market can keep staying up. That's why we're staying up because I guarantee you guys, go out there, right? Go out there and do any type of research. Just do any type of research, whether it's look at the employment numbers, look at job hirings, wages, inflation numbers, gas prices, you name it. Whatever you look at, you will see the middle class and the lower class are getting squeezed. Because one of the things that was happening for quite some time, it was the lower class or the less fortunate, right? Um, those people were squeezing and they were living off of debt pretty much. That already crept up to middle class families. Now upper class families are dealing with the same issue. So they're getting squeezed, and credit card debt is rising. Default is rising. We are also having more loan delinquencies happening. A lot of things happening that's letting you know there's real suffering out there. And with this conflict that just happened now, for gas prices to go up again. But anyway, I say all that just to let you guys know Right now there's a game being played trying to keep the market up because the market is the last part of the economy we have that you can say that's semi working. That is the only part of the economy right now we have that semi working because the only people spending money is all the people at the top. These are the people spending money. This is why they tell you everybody's forecasting less money, but luxury brands are making record profits because people with money have a ton of profit in stocks in the market, 401k, so forth. So they can afford to actually shop real estate. They can afford, to do certain things. But the lower class, the people at the bottom and the middle, are getting really, really squeezed. All right, going right back into the charts right now. Once again, let me go in the 4 hours. Let's see what we're looking at in the 4 hours. The 4 hours not as clear, almost looking like he's doing a bit of a. This is a lower high. There's no doubt about it. This is a lower high, but you can also say we're building a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern. All right. Looking at the 2 hours, 2 hours seems to be doing. This is what I was talking about. See, that looks a little bit more perfect, right? Excuse me. As of right now, this looks a little bit more perfect. Almost like this would be some type of head and shoulder pattern. But we may also do this. Let me pull the MACD up. It is possible that we also do this and curl back up, which is what seems to be happening right now in the overnight market, on the after hours market here. This what seems to be happening right now. But at the same time, also not forget. Let's also not forget we are making lower highs. All right. So what did you guys see here? This is the high, lower high, another lower high. But the good news is we just made a higher low. All right. So what exactly does that mean for us? I don't know yet. So what you must do. So going into tomorrow, this is what we're going to do going into tomorrow. We're going to draw this trend line. Just draw this trend line. And if we're pulling down or whatever it is, let this trend line use as your anchor as far as whether or not we're going to squeeze down or squeeze up. All right. And on the way up, we're going to put this right there to see if we can break above this level. There's not much room, to be honest. This would be from 682 to 680. Actually, it's a 4 point move. Somebody can make some money on that. Yeah, if catching that right, you can still make some money on that. So for 682 is that's a key level to watch, right? Whether we can break that level or not, that's resistance, 682, and you can have that trend line. So technically, what you end up doing, you don't have to wait for this entire move to be done. That way, if we're going to squeeze down, you can see it once this happen. So now you have this bit of space that needs to work itself out. The MACD once again looks like it might cooperate and give us that bit of a squeeze up. Let's see if it cooperates and actually finish that move. Again, a lot of things can happen. Actually, while I'm right in the middle of that, let me just check real quick, see what we have coming tomorrow. We have unemployment report, U.S. hourly wage. I mean, we have a ton of info coming tomorrow morning. And again, that's before the open. So if you are currently in call options, you cannot trade those at 8:30 a.m. All right. Just a reminder: if you are in call options, you just have to deal with the volatility. Hopefully, things goes your way, and it can squeeze up, and you can either squeeze up or squeeze down, whichever way you're leaning. So that way you can have some good stuff happen. Because if we're looking at that, right, this is the forecast. What we're forecasting for U.S. employment, right, for the in that employment report, is 50,000. The previous number was 130,000. Now we forecasted 60,000, and it came at 130,000. And Wall Street didn't buy the number. That day we actually went down. Now we're forecasting 50,000. Let's see exactly how that plays out. Because as you could see once again, unemployment we're projecting that to be at 4.3. It's currently 4.4, but there are more companies actually just letting us know they announcing more layoffs. Let me see. Questioning: are you finally green optimistic, or are you still cautious? Can we break out to more for an uptrend? As of right now, I'm more neutral. As of right now, I'm more neutral, and as I'm going through it, I'll make my case on that. As of right now, I'm more neutral. I'll come back to that right before I wrap up with the SPY. So the SPY did not perform very well at all today. So this is exactly what we're looking at. These are our levels. Let's go in the 30 minutes and see what we're doing in the 30 minutes. The 30 minutes say we might actually have a squeeze. This is what I'm talking about. Different time frames telling us different things. So we have a head and shoulder pattern showing up in the 2 hour time frame, right? But guess what we have showing up in the right here in the 30-minute time frame? We have a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern showing up in the 30 minutes, which would give us a bit of a squeeze up. So that's why I say again, it's going to be a lot of volatility once again tomorrow. Once again. But while that is being done, we have strong resistance level right here. So we don't know if we can take that or not. We're just not sure yet. We have to see how the market finish reacting. All right. So anyway, going back to that same question, am I positive or anything like that? Are we gonna squeeze up? No, no. Actually, as of right now, I'm leaning more bearish because of where we are currently, because we are on the downside. For me to say we're going to squeeze up, we need to go up and take those highs out, right? We have to do that because right now, if we're looking up, we have this resistance level, this resistance zone, and that resistance zone. So now we actually have like three hard levels above us we have to actually go through. That makes it harder, right? And if you look at it, contrast that with the downside, right? A breakdown. We have two levels. We just have two levels holding us, and we keep pounding on the level below. So eventually that might break. And if you're looking at right up there, just take a look to see how many times we try right at that line and we fell just over the past couple of weeks. That's how many times we have tried and we failed. We just stay below in this zone and whatnot. And the MACD just going into bearish territory. So we don't have any momentum. Every single time we have down days, we see in higher volume. And when we're going up, the volume is low. So that means the smart money, or as I call it, the cheating money. That's the guys who in the know. It's not because they smarter than us. I really don't like that term, but that's what they call it. They call retail traders like ourselves dumb money. We're not dumb. We just don't have the inside information that you guys have, right? So that's what it is, and you guys know a lot more than we do. It's not because retail traders are dumb, but that's the verbiage they go with, and things like that. So this is why I'm leaning that way. Now the Qs performed a lot better. The Qs performed a lot better. You can see the volume actually went up, and we actually closed above the trend line in the Qs. We closed above the trend line in the Qs, although we did not really go anywhere. It was an inside bar. We tried to squeeze up. We got to resistance level, and then we got smacked down once again. So nothing has changed fundamentally. Once again, these I've had these zones. We've been in those zones since early February, really. We in March right now. This is early February. We've been in those zones for quite some time, and that's still where we are. Luna says cautious. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I am cautious, and this is why I keep preaching to you guys. I'm putting hedge on my portfolio every weekend, right? I'm putting hedge every weekend, and if we get to resistance level at any given point, I'm putting hedge on. That's the way I'm doing it. It's very, very simple. I'm just doing it that way. All right. Looking at the 4 hours right now, the 4 hours. Again, it's giving a bit of a inverted head and shoulder pattern right in there. You guys should be able to see that inverted head and shoulder pattern. This is what's happening. But other than that, you guys have to remember one thing I always say as part of following the process and following your trading plan. One thing I always say is not just the pattern that's being formed, is where that pattern is being formed. Right? A pattern is being formed at a resistance level. I do not care how bullish it is. If it's being formed directly at resistance level, the probability of that pattern, it might still work, but the probability is lower. All right, that's just a fact. That's just how that works. All right. I'm gonna take a quick look at the VIX. Let me show you guys what the VIX pretty much did today. Let me switch over to that. This is what the VIX did. VIX closed at 12% today, so this is what I'm talking about. Again, yesterday I was telling you guys, although the VIX had a down day, I didn't like the fact that the support level actually held. Right? The support level held. Now, this is what's a little alarming to me. Look at the excuse me. Look at the MACD in the VIX. This thing does not look like something that's about to slow down. It looks like something that most likely is getting to rip through to go make new highs. This is what this looks like right now. All right. For any of you guys, you see me talk about the MACD all the time. We made a bullish divergence, and this is pointing straight up. Again, that is on the daily. We'll see exactly what things are telling us when it comes to the lower time frames. And if we're looking at the two candle pattern right here, again, this is a bullish RME being formed. Bullish RME. If you guys are not familiar with the bullish RME, which you should be, let me go and check that out. I'll show you guys a bullish RME. I believe I've talked to you guys about that many times. Bullish RME pattern. So this is what that looks like. You have again. This is what I mean when I refer to the pregnant women. So this is how people remember those bullish and bearish RME. It's like a pregnant woman. Bullish RME. You have a bearish candle, big bearish candle, engulfing the next candle, which is the bullish candle that comes right after. So bearish candle, bullish candle, smaller that can go inside of that. This is why they call it a pregnant woman, right? So this is a bullish RME. A bearish RME would just be the reverse, meaning this candle would be red and this one would be green. That would be a bearish RME. All right, and this is I'm not gonna go into engulfing patterns. When we see it, we can talk about that when we see it. All right. So this is what the VIX is doing. Let's check the VIX in the 4 hour time frame. Once again, in the 4 hour time frame, again, this is making a higher high bullish divergence in the MACD in the 4 hours, and this seems to be doing a pullback right here. This might end up giving us some sort of a 3 bar play, so we have to watch out for that. A 3 bar play would mean we have this bullish green candle, a small red candle, typically less than half of this candle, and then a next candle would be a big candle that goes up there. All right, that's a 3 bar pattern. All right, let's see. 3 bar pattern. Again, this is why it's good to know your patterns. So as soon as you see those patterns, automatically you know exactly what they look like and what they are. All right, you guys can see those here. I think this one looks a lot better. There you go. Bar one, bar two, bar three. That was giving you a 3 bar pattern. So you gotta be on the lookout for that. Going the 2 hour time frame. 2 hour time frame seems to be doing oh my goodness. This is interesting because the 2 hour time frame is showing us what? This is showing us a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern. That is the possibility right now. All right. And guess what this leg is doing? This leg is doing hold on, let me take that. This leg is doing a bull flag. A bull flag, why? Because this candle sets a low, and that low was respected, which is right there. That low was respected as resistance, which ends up being part of the flag. So now you have a flag pattern being done. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. Very interesting day, because I think if we have good numbers, we might actually have that green day. But if we have bad numbers, we might actually flush straight down, and the VIX might spike up once again. So I need you guys to be careful and watch how things are going, and things like that. Okay, let's see. I don't think we have any additional questions here. Take a quick look at the 30 minutes though. The 30 minutes seems to be telling us that, hey, we might be turning right down and doing a head and shoulder pattern. So we'll see which one works out. All right. We have to wait and see which one plays out. But right now, these are the two possible options. But I think a lot of that has to do with what the data says tomorrow. One, whether it's good. Two, whether it's bad. And three, whether it's believable. If it's good, whether it's believable. So now it's no longer good enough for something to be good, because the numbers seem so fake sometimes. And it doesn't, people don't have confidence that they are getting the truth from the numbers. So that's something that's a bit problematic. That being said, guys, if you are here, I appreciate you guys. I see you guys smashing the like button for me. I really appreciate that. Those things like that really help the channel, the engagement, the stuff like that. I really like it. If you guys have questions while I'm here, again, I love answering questions. Feel free to ask questions anytime. I'm more than happy to answer any questions for you guys. Once again, just remember, if you're watching this on replay, I appreciate you. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can keep getting those videos. And if you're interested in either learning how to trade, or learning some different strategies, I do have some mentorship programs. Make sure to contact me to let me know. And for those of you guys that have emailed me or leave messages and thanking me for what you've been able to learn doing those lives, let me say I have something else here. On which candle of the three bar play do you get your entry? Okay. That is a good question. On which candle do you get your entry? These are videos I'm thinking about doing, but at the same time, I have to reserve a little sauce for people in the community. Um, but that is a great question. You know what? I'm going to give you guys that one. All right. So for a three bar play, let me just go right back to that. I think that's on the 4 hours or 2 hours. Oh, there you go. So when you playing a three bar play, your entry will be right right as you cross this level, because that is your resistance level. As you cross this level, you want to see crossing on this level on lower time frames, and this would be your entry. Actually, I just realized I wasn't sharing, so let me just, I'll give that out, James. That's it. I'll give that out. I'll just give this out. So this would be your entry right there. I noticed I wasn't showing, so I'll just give you guys this right here. This would be your entry. Now I'm not going to go into which time frame you're supposed to go and do that and how to execute it, but this would be your entry, of course, above this level. All right. Um, Anyway, switching right back to those of you guys again, just letting you guys know how much I appreciate it. You guys keep coming and keep watching me and supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. And again, if you're interested in learning to trade, or if you want to trade as part of a community and things like that, I do have a live trading community for futures. And so we mainly trade futures and small cap in the morning between 9:30 and 11:30. Sometimes it might blaze over to 12 o'clock, but the set schedule is 9:30 to 11:30. Feel free to reach out and let me know. And for those of you guys that have emailed me to say, thank you for being detailed and how much you appreciate the value of those videos. I just want you to let you guys know that I do appreciate that. And this is why I do what I do. I like the fact that I can help a couple of people. And to the two people again that did donate to the channel, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate that as well. Well, guys, I have to go meet with those guys from the community. Everybody else, have a good one. Trade well tomorrow. Good luck. Best of luck. I'm typically not on Fridays. Again, I will try to be on, but last Friday I really wasn't feeling well, so I could not make a video or go live with you guys. I typically don't do reviews on Friday nights because that's like bit like more like family time. But I will try as long as I'm feeling a little better. Again, I have the time. I will try to hop on the live, and once the live goes on, I'll let you guys know again. And if you make sure you click the notification bell when I go live, you will see it. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Best of luck tomorrow with your trading. Again, remember, follow the process. It's process over profit. You follow your process, the profit will come. Stick to your trading plan. Be patient. Don't be emotional. If you miss a trade, don't chase it. Wait for the next trade. All right. You don't keep one trade in your head. One trade in your head, one idea, and that idea must work. The idea you may have may not work out. There's different strategies. If you have different strategies, that's part of your trading plan. Once again, just make sure you can move on to something else. If you only trade one strategy, if things didn't play out the way you wanted, just wait for the next opportunity. All right, the market will give opportunity over and over. So be patient. Don't get bored. Don't take crazy trades. That being said, I give you guys the best of luck tomorrow. Stay green, get out, stay profitable. Have a good one tomorrow. Take care.